Hi, sitting here in my studio, Marilyn Price from the Mentor Project, with a whole pile of stuff, which is what I love. I love stuff and I like to make out of it things to tell stories. So I thought today I'm going to tell you a story that I put together, which kind of resonated with me. That means that I could associate it with it. And it's about three characters who lived, well, I shouldn't tell it to you yet. First, let me show you who's going to be in the story. Plates, milk jugs, and boxes. So today I'm going to make before your very eyes a puppet. I know I do it sometimes, but then I just wanted to express for you how easy it is just not to be, what do you say, afraid. So first thing we need is a pile of the really, really cheapest paper plates you can find so that you can draw on them. I mean, the really nice plates should be eaten on, or you can eat on these too. As a matter of fact, if you had something that you could just wipe off this plate, it'd be perfect. I mean, it's recycling in its finest form. So in order to make the principal character of our story, who is a dog, you need 4 1/2 paper plates, and that's really about it. And from the 1 1/2, you can make lots of other things. So the first thing you need to do is cut that plate right in half. Now, does it have to be perfect? No, you don't even have to look, which is what I'm doing now. Not looking, but also not cutting my finger. So once you have done the half, ta-da! Then you got to attach it to something. Now, as you know, and if you don't, you're going to know this in a minute, puppet is something you put your hand in. So take another one of these plates, and what we're going to do is make a pocket for your hand to become a puppeteer. Here is a stapler. I'm going to staple the whole job. You don't need a lot of staples because it doesn't get a lot of wear and tear, but here's good. And then move it along a few inches, and then a few more. And just to secure your pocket for your hand, we're going to do one more. Yes, one more. I'm back here. Okay, now, here we have a pocket and a half, a plate and a half, excuse me. And what do we put in that pocket? You. And that holds it up. I'm going to tell you the original way I saw this is my little boy, when he went to preschool, he learned how to make one of these, and we would put napkins in it, hang it from the wall. I had it for a long time, but I have to admit, due to his age and the wear and tear on the napkin holder, I don't have it anymore, but it did have a wonderful message. I think it said, "I love you, Mommy." So how could you ever throw that out? I don't know what happened to it, so I feel badly. I'm sorry, buddy. So now we have 3 more plates to attach. 2 of them are going to become ears, and 1 will become his belly. You don't need a lot more than that just to get the general idea. So I think first we should attach the belly and see if it works by rumbling at it. So to make it nice and easy, I would recommend just bending a little bit here. You don't have to, just a little bit. It makes the tummy lie nice and flat. Okay, who doesn't like that, right? And I'm still here, but I'm holding it up in front of you. So now you're going to staple on one side, and then you're going to go over here and staple on the other. For those of you who have been tuning in to our shows, then you know we've used this dog before, but I never showed you how to make it. So this is very exciting. All right. So all you need is 2. And we have, oops, he was standing on the side. We have, yep, the head and the belly. You want to, you can attach legs. Doesn't need them because he has me. Okay, now, how about some ears? Big, floppy ears. We're going to have 2 of those. And for those 2 ears, we're going to use 2 plates. And the first thing we're going to do to make it easy on us is to fold those plates over. Now, for those of you who have, I was wondering, what made our plates so hard to fold? It's because I had 2 instead of 1. Sometimes happens. Because they get stuck together. All right, now we're going to fold one over here. Going to hang it up here like that. And then we're going to fold the other one over here like that. All right. So then we're going to take the extra, put it over there. So if you were an ear of a dog, would you like to go on its shoulder, on its back? If you don't have a dog and you don't know, take my word for it. Ears are on the top of the head. All right, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to take our handy-dandy, ever-present stapler again. Staple one over there, big floppy ear, and then take the other big floppy ear over here. All right, so one more staple, and we have the makings of something that you would recognize as a dog. So while I have your complete attention, what if the ears went straight up each side? Could you make a bunny? Mm-hmm. What if the ears were not folded over? What if you made the ears like that? Could you make I heard there's someone out there said elephant. So elephant it is. But our pooch for today is exactly that, a pooch. So we're going to give him a couple of eyes. I will draw those on. And then I'm going to use my finished product. Not that this puppet wouldn't be ever so wonderfully cool, but it's always nice to work with an old friend. I'm sure you agree. I think first I'm making a nose. Now I will admit to you that I don't have a dog, except puppet dogs. There are a lot of puppet dogs, but I don't have a dog that actually I can take for a walk in the morning. So I have a lot of dog friends in the neighborhood, and they are very kind to me, but they're not my dogs. So this would be a nice dog nose, right? And then, of course, we need a doggy mouth, which kind of looks like a J back to back, right? And then, of course, we need eyes. Well, what do we do about eyes? If you have stickers, use stickers, especially nice, funky stickers. Or I think what we're going to do is I'm going to make an eye socket, which is basically like another J upside down. And then I'm going to show you these because they are very cool. I would recommend you find some, but I don't remember where I got them. This is a roll of eyeballs on tape. So I am going to, normally they come together. And yes, this is perfect. Let me show you. So you can unroll any kind of eye. And I am pretty sure that if you went to the master of all information, the Google or any other website that you use, you might say, eyes on tape. And you might come up with it. You can also get Googly Eyes, which have an adhesive backing. You don't have to worry about the glue. So what do you think? Pretty nice, huh? It doesn't have spots. That's your job, because I have a complete one. But before I introduce you to him, I am going to show you funky other things. You can even make a human out of this model. Instead of making big ears, you just draw in ears. And instead of, you can have that body, and then two long tubes would make arms and legs. So you can make a puppet of you if you wanted to, and who's better to tell a story with than yourself? So I'm going to show you something I made today when I was visiting a friend across the country on the internet. He wanted me to make him a monster truck. And who doesn't like a monster truck? So he did the same thing. There's the plate and a half in the back to put our hand into. And it wasn't monstery enough for him. So I gave it big monster wheels. Monster, and a mean monster face. But he didn't always want the monster to be sad. He wanted every once in a while for the monster to be happy. So we told a story about the monster truck riding along and scaring everybody, and then scared somebody so much they cried in the monster truck really bad and said, "I'm sorry." And the minute he said it, he did a double flip over and ended up with a smiley face. I mean, what could be better? What can you make with paper plates? The options are endless. And then you can have dinner. That's a good thing to do. So I'm going to introduce you to the dog I made quite a while ago, made with paper plates. There he is. How are ya? Roof. Oh, excuse me. Did you hear what he said? He said roof, like, on top of a house. Hold on to that thought. He has some friends too. So here's another one. We're not going to make it in front of you today because the story today is all about the dog who said roof and his clever friends. So I'd like to introduce you to his clever friends, which I'll show you how to make slowly on another day. This is the body of his friend, the cow. Oops, what is that? You say a milk carton? You'd be right. But it's missing a head? You'd be right. So you take a piece of cardboard and you make a big old head because it's a big old story. Now, this particular friend is a cow. And this is a story I actually know. And it's about a cow that says, boo. Can you imagine? A dog that says roof and a cow that says boo? How does that work? And as if that weren't enough in our story, we have a cat. Now, most cats say what? Meow. Not our cat. Our cat says wow. Allow me to show you. Now, if you have a cat at home and you feed your cat cat food, you might have a cat food box. Makes the perfect puppet. But again, I don't have a cat or a dog or, in all honesty, a cow. But our neighbor had a cat and they let me borrow their cat food box. We fed the cat. And then I made a puppet. Voila! Now this cat is made a little fancy, but do you need a fancy face on your cat? Not my friend, the cat that says, wow! This is an exclamation always of surprise. So, we, you and me, the cat, the dog, and the cow are going to tell a brand new story about bravery, about being a little bit different, and about getting along. Are you ready? You are ready? Okay. If you don't have the characters, what I'd like you to do is to say the noises with me. Okay, you want to practice? All right, let's do this. This is a cow that normally would say moo. But when he was just a baby calf, all he could say was boo. This is a cat. When she was a kitten, all it could say was, wow, always in a state of excitement. And who doesn't like that, right? And this is my dog. And all he could say is, roof. Not woof, not growl, but roof. Okay. Once upon a time, there were 3 animals. The dog that said, woof. The cat that said, wow. And the cow that said, boo. Each of them, for reasons of their very own, and because nobody understood them, because they were just a little bit different, left home. It started off like this. The dog that said, woof, lived with a lovely family, and they loved him very much, and they tried really hard to get him to say, woof, woof, roof. They couldn't help him. And they loved him. But one day he decided to say, roof, roof, and go on his way. And so he did. On his trip, moving out, he met a cat. And when the cat saw the dog that said roof, the cat said, wow. Well, the dog that said roof thought that the cat that said wow was making fun of him. And he said so. You're making fun of me. And the cat said, no. Well, why don't you meow like all the other cats? All I know how to say is wow. Oh, that said roof understood that because all he could say was roof and not woof. So the cat that said, thank you so much for helping, wow, and the dog that said roof went on their way. And pretty soon they came across a cow. Now the cow was moseying down the road as cows often do because the cow could only say boo, and all the other cows made fun of the cow that said boo. They said to him, cows don't say boo, cows say boo, 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 boo. And the cow that said boo felt so bad about being different that she left the farm to find her way. And who did she run into but the dog that said roof, and the cow that said boo scared the dog that said roof. And right away they knew they had something in common. So along with the cat that said wow, they went to find a new home together. Well, they found a vacant barn and they moved inside. The cat, always liking straw, and sat and fell asleep soundly on a bed of straw. Very happy. Oh, and the cow that's always said boo went and found itself a nice quiet place to sit as well. And the dog that said roof sat near them. Now, late in the night, in the middle of the night, what should happen but someone snuck into the barn. Up to no good, we are sure. Probably on its way to steal something from the beautiful farmhouse. What to do? Well, the cat saw him. And what did he do? But he raced up to him and said, wow! Oh no, the thief was so scared. He had no idea of the cat who could say, wow, that he chased him and ran, but not very much because the cat was very, very brave. So he went back and he said, wow! And that thief climbed all the way up on top of the roof. Mm-hmm. Well, when the cow saw the man on the top of the roof, she climbed up all the way and said, boo, the loudest voice you have ever heard. And the thief clung to the roof, and the people from the farmhouse came running out, but they didn't see anything except 3 strange animals they had never seen before. The cat looked at them and said, wow! And the people from the house said, a cat this is well. Well, wow. Very nice. Would you like to come and live with us? Wow! Of course he would. Wouldn't you? Oh, and the cow that said, boo, looked at them and said, what are you afraid of? Boo! Don't you be afraid. You can stay with us too. We would love to have some extra milk. And the people didn't understand why they were so excited. And then all of a sudden, the dog came over to them and looked them right in the eye and said, roof! And with that, they looked up on the top of the roof and they saw someone they'd never seen before, who did not belong there. So they invited the thief to come down. And then they invited him to leave, which of course he did because he was so scared being in a place where everything was just a little bit different. For example, there are very few places where there lives a dog that says roof, a cow who says boo, and mostly a cat that says whoa. Now the 3 friends joined the family in the farmhouse, and they lived very, very happily together ever after, proving that different is very, very special and helpful. So I thank you for coming today and learning how to make a puppet out of paper plates, out of milk cartons. Oh, yes, don't forget a box. Anything is game, so to speak, for our puppet making. So I would like to wish you, from me, Marilyn Price, the Mentor Project, to watch this program and make a puppet with us. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on our podcast. And we wish you all to live happily ever after. And that, of course, is the end.